All right, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and we're doing another segment now. We're going to do some art journaling. So we've gone from color books to art journaling. And I haven't decided if I want to work in my collage journal or if I want to work in the napkin journal. And why am I talking like this? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to do another quick little flip of some of my collage and art journal, mixed media journal and my napkin journal to show you some of the journals that we are all working in at different times and depending on how much time we have and what we're working on that week. But today we'll do something in one of these books. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me show you my oldest one first. Okay, so this, and if y'all know, I've already done videos on how to do a faux leather, and I know there's a shine because I varnished them. A faux leather journals. This one's the darker, and I got paint on it and stuff since then. But there are videos on how to do these two colors of. Well, actually, here's the third one. How to do these varnishing these journals like this, and these are just the dilutions, mixed media uh, journals, and that are like chipboard on the outside. So, and I even did the inside. And I did not varnish the insides, but I just went ahead and put the paint on the inside too. Okay, so this is my oldest one. This one's from 2013. And again, I'm going to just do a quick flip because I haven't done a flip for a while. And so we can just kind of see some of the progress in some of the journals. And I'll kind of talk about them a little bit. This is the same process that I will use on my art cards. It's mixed media collage. I'll use paint, paper, uh, just whatever. Now, you can't, if you plan on varnishing your pages, like these are varnished, you can see the shine, you can't use water soluble things like watercolor, Neocolor 2, anything that's going to move with water. This is acrylic paint and collage, and so I can varnish over it because there's no wet medium. Okay, you like my journal? Oh, thanks, Jean. I love seeing yours too. Jean has awesome. Since from the first day, Jean was afraid to touch paint. Literally, would not touch paint on her skin. To where she does awesome art journal pages with music, usually music lyric themes. And and Jean will be the first one to say that she's not like some you know famous artist or anything, but her pages have heart to them. Her pages have a lot of emotion and heart in them, and when she picks lyrics and does a silhouette of something, or practices a new technique, she has love behind it, and that's what I love about Jean's journals. So, just saying. Okay, so this one is from 2013. It is not done. You can see I have pages in here with different bits. Here's extra pieces of collage in here. And even though it's going to sound like they're sticking together, I just haven't opened this for a while. But seriously, they are not sticking. And after I put the varnish on them, they barely even crunch at all. But they might crunch a little, but I haven't opened this book for a while. But it's not doing any damage to the book. Sometimes, like for instance, and I know if you use Mod Podge, don't yell at me, but if you use Mod Podge, if you did this with Mod Podge pages and pulled these apart like this, you would be taking bits off. They stick to the point where they'll ruin the pages. I use golden matte medium, so even though it sounds bad, nothing is actually happening to the pages. There's no pulling. There's nothing's taking off. It's just that the pages have not been open for some time. But these are pages that are not done back here yet. So you can kind of see this is some of the different stages that my pages go through. And it's the same way that I do, the page is so cool, but in the middle, it almost looks like a face with it. Well, that's one of the things I like about my collage is different people see different things in it. And that's what I like. Same for my art cards. Anyway, it's the same process that I do when I do my little mixed media art cards. It's the same process as this. Now, as you can see here, these are pages that are not done. And I know it sounds bad, guys, but seriously, it's not doing a thing. It's not doing a thing to the page. All right, now these have been varnished. All right, and these are some of the ones from 2013. I'm just going to do a quick flip here So you can see some of the ones that are in this book. Okay. And it's cutting it off just a little, top and bottom. I'm a little zoomed in, but I think you get the full effect here. So this is all mixed media collage and paint. Bye, Carla. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. And sometimes I will do paintings from my mixed media collage. And I'll show you one of those in just a minute. But I haven't really had a lot of time to do that lately because when I'm streaming this, and then I don't have time to make paintings. Same thing from my collage, my art collage, the collage cards I send out to you guys. I'll make paintings from them, but I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do that. But anyway, so this one's from 2013. I'm doing it quick here. Okay. Just so you can kind of see. I know it sounds bad, but trust me, the pages are all good. They're happy. They're not. Could you dust over? You probably could put some cornstarch, and some people say baby powder. But I think that because these books are literally smashed into a bookshelf, I think it's more the pressure of the book being smashed into the bookshelf than anything, and it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. After I open them now, see, that doesn't do anything. They're fine. They're not sticking at all. It's just because they're mashed into a bookshelf. But anyway, so what I'll do is, I have my sample one here. So here's an example. I just keep one handy here. This is a mix, same size as this, but it's just done on a cardstock. But it's the same thing. This one has not been varnished. Okay, this one's not been varnished. So, it hasn't been yet. But the painting has been. So from this, okay, hang on, guys. I froze for a second with incoming mail. Yowza. It takes about 10, 15 seconds. Let me take a sip of coffee while the mail comes in. I'm just running too many things at once, so it just freezes me for a minute. 30 seconds, maybe? I was going to say 15, but maybe 30. But so you get to look at this for a second. And I'll show you the painting. Oh, I got a question. Dede, Paula, Carrie inspired me so much. Jean said that Dede, Paula, and Carrie inspired me so much to get into art journaling, even though my style isn't like either of them. They made me want to figure out my style. Yeah. Well, it's awesome, Jean, how, and again, for just, going from afraid to touch paint, and I'm froze, guys. I'm still here, but I froze for a second. Jean has gone from that to doing awesome journal pages. And then you think you've seen them all, probably after, and I show them every now and then. It's been a while. So then I went from this to here's a painting on canvas board. So you can see how much bigger it is. So like this is an 8 by 10, right, or 8.5 by 11. And then here's the painting, which is 12 by 16. So I use this as a sketch, if you will, to do this painting. And there's no paper in this. This is just all paint. Okay, and I changed things up. Like I didn't like the weeds there. I wanted it to look more like a heart. So I'll change things up. But this is my sketch. And then here's the painting. So you can see the same thing that I'm doing now with more. I'm trying to do more with my art cards, but I'm not doing them this big. I'm doing them more 5 by 7 or, smaller ones because I just don't have time to do full-on paintings like this while I'm doing my commission portrait work. But I just wanted y'all to see that it can go from this to this. So if even no matter how simplistic your collage is or complex, you can turn it into a painting, and it doesn't have to be this big. It can go from your little art cards to a little bit bigger. Yeah, I use this as a reference. Yeah. Okay, so let me put that back under here. All right. I probably won't. The next time I want to find it, I won't. But anyway, all right. So then the next journal that we're working in, or I've shown, is this one. Let me just, I've got three here. Well, actually, I got three of these and one napkin journal. Excuse the squeaky chair, guys. All right, so this is the one that, the newer one. This one I started this year, 2016, or the end of 2015. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but just in this one, I wanted to do more complex collage. The other one had more simple, fewer elements. Let's put it that way. The other one had fewer elements in the collage. This has a lot of collage going on in this book. So if I'm going to do more of the simplistic collage with just maybe 2 or 3 elements, like was in the other book, I'll work in that book. If I want to do more complex collage, then I'll do it in this book. So again, I'm varnishing these pages as I go. Now there's 2 that I've not varnished because I have glitter on them. And if I varnish over the glitter will lose its shine. But I'll probably still do it and maybe try to avoid the glitter. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm going to probably ruin the glitter if I varnish it. But I like the way the pages look varnished. Okay. So again, these are a little bit more complex, and by that I mean there's more elements. There's more story going on. There's more. There's just more going on. So, but you can kind of see. Okay. All right. So, and the other thing too is I don't work in necessarily in order. If I have a bunch of collages started, I don't have any problem going from front to back to the middle, working on this one or that one. I'll work all over. Same thing for the napkin journal. I'll work all over. I don't feel any need because there's no dating for me. I I don't I don't care about the order. I'll work on this one and then maybe a year later I might work on this one. Doesn't bother me at all. So just FYI, there's not necessarily a order to these as far as date wise. Okay. So that being said, here's one that I just have some elements glued down and the pages just started, right? So this is some of the collage that I've done that I'll turn this into a story. I can't do that. I have to work from front to back. Well, yeah, Sarah, everybody has their method. Everybody has their way. If it bothers you to work, all over the place, then work front to back. But I might come to this book and I have all this collage done, and then if I feel compelled to do this page, then I won't glue down something else. So this page would not be done yet because I'm still thinking about this one. If I was of the mind to do it front to back. Does that make sense? So let's say I glued this down, walked away from it. I came back and I don't really want to work on that, but I have to now. I have to work on that because it's the next page. Well, I don't feel that. I'll go on and glue another page. I'll glue another page. And I'll also work on this page. So the benefit, I get a lot done that way. I get a lot done in a lot of journals because I'll go from one to the other. Okay, so here's one that is not varnished yet. I did add a little bit of stickle so it makes it glittery right there. But if I varnish this, we'll see. Maybe I'll varnish this today just to see what will happen to the glitter. If it messes up, it's okay. Eileen tried to make you work front to back and you tried it and you can't do it. Well, then you'll just be on this page until it's done. I can't do that. See, that I'm the opposite. I can't do that. I can't say, okay, I've got to do this page before I do anything else. That would drive me crazy, just like you skipping pages probably drives you crazy. It's just whatever, little ticks that we have about ourselves, right? So I don't mind skipping that. I don't mind skipping that. And then I went on to this and finished this page. So this one's finished except for the varnish. So, yeah, it's all whatever, whatever it is for you. So, yeah, so this needs to be varnished, but because of the glitter, I haven't done that. Same for this one. This one has glitter on it. So I'm not sure what will happen when I varnish over the glitter, or I could try to varnish it carefully where I don't touch the glitter. I could do that too. Thanks, Carol TMT. Well, I've got, I've got, well, of course, not all my videos are on Ustream, but I have over 400 videos on YouTube. And there's probably at least, I would guess, at least 75 videos on my collage technique. So if you want to learn how to do it my way or the way I do it, or at least, as a practice, and you'll develop your own style out of that, but it's a technique, then there's plenty of videos for you to look at. Just saying. There's plenty to look at. And I do them all the time. This is the same technique I do on my little art cards or the postcards. It's the same thing. Again, this one's not varnished yet because it's got glitter here and there, like on her hair and the feather and a little bit up here. It's got a little bit of glitter, so I have not varnished this yet. We did this one on stream. This is a live show. It's a live show. Thanks for letting you hop around. It's okay to hop around. That's right, Suzanne. But if it bothers you, I know a lot of people can't jump around in their journals. And that's fine. Whatever works for you guys. It's not a rule. You're the boss of your art journal. Okay, so here's one that I've just glued down. This will be a whole world. We're going to have a whole world, right? Landscapes and water and planet. A whole world will come out of this. But not today. Same for this. So this is the newer book. This is the newer one. This is all I've got done in it so far. Look, a whole bunch of collage stuff ready to go. This is a squirrel that I cut out of a journal. It's, I'll deconstruct one of my journals in a heartbeat if I want to. This was probably in a sketchbook. And I did something else with the sketchbook, so I cut him out. He might end up on a page. I don't know. He might. I'm just going to flip real quick. And I know I have a blue page in here. Where's that blue page? He might end up here. She might be going, squirrel. Because y'all know I do fantasy animal posters too, when I have time. So anyway, we'll just leave him there. He'll live there for now. But yeah. So that's all I have done in this book so far. And then so it's new. It's a fairly new book. All right, so there's that one. Then we have the mixed media. I call it the color book mixed media. Those other ones really didn't have any color book pages in it. This one I did on purpose to show, lots of reasons, but one of the purposes was to show that how you can use your color book pages rather than just leaving them setting in your color book. Okay? Now, that being said, there's certain color books I won't cut pages out of, okay? Ones that have a story, like let's say Doctor Who, Sherlock Holmes. The ones that have stories to them that need to be in the book and told as a story. There's a few color books that I would not want to cut up just because that it just doesn't go if you take a page out. But then there's a lot of other color books that have a lot of nature patterns, florals, plants, butterflies, bugs. I'll cut those up in a minute, okay? Because I'm the boss of my color book. So this journal, again, I have a video on how to do the faux leather here. This journal is a combination mixed media and color book. Whereas this one that I want to work in today is all a napkin journal. The reason I wanted the napkin journal to be its own is because napkin pages will give you texture. If y'all have ever worked with napkins, no, I have not. That will be the end of the month, Silver. Silver's asking, and it's not really a pocket letter swap, Silver. It's going to be a color book page. Nobody has to put their things in a pocket. They just have to send the pages. We'll talk about that at the end of the month. So I wanted to use a separate journal for napkins because napkins give texture, and I just wanted that as a separate thing. Okay. This book, as far as I know, maybe there's a napkin in there somewhere, but as far as I know, this one doesn't have napkins in it. It's mixed media collage and color book pages. Now, not every page necessarily has to have a color book something on it, but I wanted to have a journal specifically to use color book cutouts. The day book Vicky S was given to me by my sister. I covered up the date from 2009. It's a 2009 faux ledger book, but what I'm doing in it is you can use. I've used composition books. Trust me, guys, I've used composition books for everything I'm showing you, even collage pages. Okay, so it's just a little easier on heavier paper, but trust me, it can be done. Okay, so that's where I got it. My sister gave it to me for my birthday in 2009. I never used it because it has dates in it. So I finally am using it now. All right, so let's look at this one first. Thanks for putting your questions in caps, guys. Oh yeah, Silver. Have you seen my? I've shown pictures of my shelves. I got more than one floor to ceiling shelf of art journals and sketchbooks. I've tweeted them. And if you don't follow me on Facebook, you can still go to all my albums. I have an album, I think it's called my Art Desk album. So if you don't even follow me on Facebook, you can still go to my pictures, go to my albums, and in the albums, they're broke out by different categories. I've made them public so anybody can go look at them. I have an art desk and some studio pictures like art, the shelves and things are in there too. So yeah, you can see all that. Okay, so this one I have a little Mona Lisa playing card on there. Mona Lisa's my muse. Okay, and this one I started in 2015, and again, it's mixed media. Now, on some of these, I've almost decided not to varnish these. Reason being is because on some of my color book pages, I've used neo colors, watercolors, you know, water soluble things. So that if I varnish them, I'm taking the chance that I could move things around. Like there's some dilutions paints on some of these backgrounds that could move with varnish. So if you want to varnish all your pages, you have to make sure you've not used anything that's going to move with water. Because varnish is wet. It's going to move anything that's watercolor, right? So this is all acrylic paint on here with maybe a little bit of dilutions underneath. I don't know. So again, that's probably why I won't varnish this book, because I'm cutting things out of color books that I may or may not even remember what I put on it. Now, would it freak me out if I put some varnish on and something moved? Not me. It would not freak me out, but trust me, I know there's people out there that if you started varnishing something and everything started moving around, it would freak you out. So I always clarify that if you are going to put varnish on your pages, and let me show you the varnish I use, make sure there's nothing that's going to move. I use the Delta Ceram Coat gloss exterior interior varnish. You can get this at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. It's like $10 a bottle, but it lasts a long, long time. And you can use a coupon, so you can get it for like $6 to $7 depending on your coupon. But this is the only varnish I use in my books. Okay. And it does not stick my pages, even though it sounded like they were really sticking on that other journal. They really aren't sticking. I'd only qualify that by saying make sure your pages are 100% dry if you varnish them before you. I'd leave them open overnight. Leave it open overnight to dry. And if you're still not sure, put a piece of wax paper between them until you're 100% sure that the varnish is dry. Okay? Yeah, I love that varnish. I use it on that's the same varnish I use on all my art cards. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show some different elements. This is like out of a calendar or an art book. Here's a stencil. Here's some Tim Holtz music paper, I think, and I'm guessing some hand painted weeds and things. So black paint, stars with the Posca paint pen, or maybe it could be just a using a stylus and dotting it. Okay. How many coats? I just put one coat of varnish. Yeah, one coat. Okay. So these are some silhouette cameo cut out doves cut out. Here's this was a piece of collage, something I think someone sent me in the mail. Another, and I use different books, this is a from a fish calendar. Okay. And then this is all paint. This is all paint, paint, paint. A stencil there. Okay. Stencil here. And then paint. So some are going to have color book page, more than not have color book pages on them. This was just this was already in the book when I started to designate this for coloring collage and color book pages. I had already drawn him. He's our little biker pug. And we drew him one day, and after we drew him, we decided he needed to be a biker. So we put a helmet on him. We put a bone in his ear. We put I painted on a spike collar, put a tattoo on him. So we turned him into a biker pug. But he wasn't that way to begin with. And she's just looking at him. This page is not done. I'll tell you if the pages are done. This one, yeah, I really want to add some more to it. But you can see all this is paint. Collage, collage, and paint. Okay. Same. Now this one's, I'm calling this one done. This has a collage flower, a collage girl, and then this little bit of the city right here. This is out of a magazine or a calendar, this bit right here. And then all this is paint. So I say we, because if you're here and I'm working on it, we're all talking about it, and I just say we. But anyway, we painted in all the landscape. This is all paint right here. Okay. Okay, here's one. Now, I was going to say a color book page, but I have a color book that looks just like her, but this is from a book. So this is a collage. This is a collage. And then a little bit of a flower here. That's collage. And this flower here. And the rest is paint. The water, the stairs, the stars, the planets. We make our own little world. Thanks, Artsy. Yeah, we make our own little world. And so she's out of an art book, but it could have very well just been like a color book image, which you're going to see some more of here shortly. Okay, so here's one with the color book. These three giraffes were all bunched up as a group in one of the Creative Haven color books. I think it's called Creatures or something. But just because something is in a color book in one way doesn't mean you can't cut them out, cut them up, separate them, turn them upside down, right side up. You can do whatever you want because you know what? You're the boss of your color book. So I separated them all out and put them all around this bit here. So here's a flower that's collage. A little bit of, this is some kind of, I don't know if it's from fractals or what. And then the giraffes are color book pages that I've cut out. Then we've added the water wheel, made this was a fractal here, but I painted water on it, painted all the water, and made this like a water wheel. Now, let me say, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about the color book page. Oh, I hate when I forget something. I was going to say something about the color book pages. Oh, coloring. That's what I was going to say. It's best if you color in your color book or tear out the page and color it. Don't glue your page. If you have a mixed media page where you have collage, don't cut the giraffes out, say, and glue them on and then color them because you'll be coloring over collage bits and you'll be getting lumps and bumps. So it's best to color, even if, like, let's just say I had this background done, except for the water. That was all added on top. But let's just say I wanted the giraffes to be colored to match this. You still don't want to glue them down until you've colored them, because if you have collage bits underneath and you color, then you'll be coloring over bumps and lumps. These are glued, yeah, and the gluing, I just glue them in. Let me grab here. If I'm cutting out of a color book, I'll just glue them in with Eileen's Tacky. Just Eileen's Tacky glue. but I'm very particular about how I glue them in. I make sure all the edges, like turn it over and put it on a phone book or something, and smear your glue all the way to the edge. For me, a pet peeve is in an art journal, things that are not glued down well. In my sketchbook, I don't care. I'll cut something out of a sketchbook and just tack it in there with a bit of Yoo-hoo glue stick. You know, if I just want to tack something down. But in an art journal, I want it glued down well, especially if I'm going to start adding paint over the top. Because if this wasn't glued down well and I started painting over it, it's going to start curling up. Know what I mean, Vern? So you wanna make sure everything's glued down really well, um, before you start painting over the top of it, because otherwise you could have curly giraffes. Nobody wants a curly giraffe. Okay, this one's not done. It's just in process. Again, I'll skip all around. Not done. Not done. This is, now, before color books, we had clip art. This is from a clip art book, okay? Uh, Dover, has clip art, and they actually even had color book clip art. But, clip art, black and white images, Dover's had out for 30 years. I don't even know how many years Dover's been around. But anyway, that's from a clip art. Again, these are not done. They're all in process. This is from the Flow book. Now, this is one of the times where I did make a copy of something. And actually, I made 3 copies because I wanted to send Paula a color copy. I colored a picture for Paula. So I made a copy to color for Paula. Well, I also made a copy of this one because I didn't know which one I wanted to send to Paula. So I kept this one. I said, well, I got to use her in something. So she's not glued down yet, but I have the feeling this is where she's going to go. I just have her tacked down with a little glue stick, but I think she's going to live here. But she's not glued down. When I glue her down, I'll glue her down with the Eileen's Tacky Glue end to end. But yeah, she's a color book page from the Look. I think it's the Look book. It's called the Look Fashion Book by Suwa. So yeah. So here's how you can use your color book pages in your mixed media art journal. That's a collage. There's an angel there. She may or may not stay. I don't know. Okay, so again, I'm just going to kind of do a flip. Okay, so this one, this was done from the Heart Journal magazine, and so that's cut out from that. Again, then I paint in, add collage. So let's just kind of zoom in a little so you can see. So use your color book pages and your mixed media. You just use your color book pages just like you would, a magazine image or a calendar image or whatever, This one's not done. This one we did on a stream. And this is, I think, from I think it's from the same book. Anyway, it's from the Fantasy Fairy, Color the Fairies or something like that. And so we colored them, cut them out, and made a little world for them. This little one up there, she's squeezing out the water from the little bell flowers, and it's running down on top of this little fairy. And there's a little pool, so you can see. Yeah, it was, yeah. So you can see, then this was partly stenciled, and I don't know, we sponged that or something. I don't even remember. We have videos on it. So, I do so many, guys. Sometimes I forget exactly each technique. There's a stencil behind her. This is a bit of collage mountains and a little bit of collage watches there. You're actually doing art. Oh, good, Terry. Stay out of trouble. Do art, Terry. Stay out of trouble. This one's in process. In process. Again, she's out of that same fairy book. We colored her and then put her in a home. Now this is not done. I want to put her in a world better, but I'm just kind of liking the way it looks right now. I'm in no hurry to finish it. Okay. Same for this one's not done. This girl's out of the steampunk book. And I did not finish coloring her before I glued her in. But here's the thing. Now when I go to color her with, if I use any color pencil, I'll pick up I'll pick up bits of the collage underneath because I can feel the collage underneath. If y'all have any questions, put them on caps. You could do a fantasy book covers. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things I could do. I just right now I'm concentrating on my portraits because I really enjoy that. I feel like doing my portraits for people is doing a service for people. Not that anything else isn't, but it makes me feel like I'm really doing a service for people by doing portraits, pets, people, memorial portraits. And since I'm going to just do this whole segment as a flip, I'll show a couple of my portraits before we'll do a whole segment on just the napkin journal. So, because I want to have time to do it. Okay. This girl's out of I think it's the tattoo book. Hang on, there's Hubster. He hasn't checked in on stream. Yes, I'm still streaming. I saw you stop in. Hello? I think we'll just go. Yeah, sometimes sometimes, there it goes. Are you there now? Yeah, you need a new phone. That's what it is. Okay, thanks, honey. Okay, bye. Yes, I am. All right, bye. Okay, I saw you stop in. Yeah, bye. Well, there's about 3 packages gone out that's going to make 3 people happy today because 3 things are mailed. So anyway, she's out of the tattoo book that when Darcy was visiting that we both bought and colored. So this is the girl. She's not glued in yet. I'll just tack if I'm not sure I want that thing on that page. I'll just use a glue stick and just tack it in there. I got to move my chair so I can get some air here. I'll just, lightly tack it in with a glue stick until I get back to it. And I know some people can't stand to do a partial page, but I'm just one of those people that it makes me feel more free if I can work on page to page, whatever I want. Because it's not for anybody. It's not like a commission that I have to get done start to finish and send out, right? I can do this in any kind of order. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody that like Sarah, that likes to go from front to back. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just whatever you like, right? Okay, so this one is done. Again, we did this one on a stream. These are butterflies that were it was a combination butterfly photo or drawings, like illustrations, with the color book that you could color matching butterflies and moths. I just bought the book. I bought that particular color book to cut out the moths and the birds. I mean, the butterflies, but then I did color one there. So, yeah, that one's done. Welcome back, Terry. This one is just some dilution, leftover stencil and spray. This one's out of the little fairy book again. I think the fairy book, yeah. And this one's got some stickles on her wings. And she's up here flying, riding a ship. Okay. This one we never finished. This was Goldilocks and the however many bears. This was out of a color book. We colored them and cut them out and put them on here. Not finished, but it doesn't bother me. It does not bother me. You like the our pirates? Yeah, I like the pirates too. It's a cool book. It's a tattoo book. Let me see if I can find it. It's the one that Darcy and I both got when she was here. Hang on, I gotta step over the fan cord and get to it. When Darcy was here, I guess it's going on a year ago now, we both bought the Ultimate Tattoo coloring book. It's a big, thick book. We both got it at Books A Million. And I think we both had coupons and stuff. It's regularly $17, but I'm a member. I get 10% off. I think there's a coupon. You buy 25, you get 5 off. They had a sale. Anyway, But it's got all kinds of cool tattoo images. And this is the perfect book to cut up. I'm telling you. Perfect book to cut up. So this is where that little pirate girl came out of, was this book. Okay, so it's called the Ultimate Tattoo Color Book. And let's see, who's it by? Because I know somebody's going to ask. Chartwell Books, but I don't see who compiled it. It just says Chartwell. So yeah, if anybody's interested in that. Okay. All right. These girls came out of the fashion, I think it's called, and I gave the book away so I can't look it up, but 20s fashion or something like that. But it's one of those creative havens, and it has all these different girls in it to color their outfits. So again, there's some color book pages. This is not done. This one is out of the floral fashion, the Creative Haven floral fashion. Yeah, perfect for cutting up, Vicki. And all the girls in this book are made out of flowers. So all the hair, everything is made out of flowers. So, this page is finished. Thanks, Terry, for the links. Okay, this one's not done. You can just see bits of collage. We'll see what goes on with that. This one's not done. This is from a Dover color book, and it's like an angel in a stained glass window. And then I also juxtaposition that with the steampunk girl. And this is not done either, but you can see where it's going with that. Again, the steampunk girl out of the Creative Haven Steambook color book page. Not done, but maybe I'll get to it, maybe I won't. I like it. I like it like it is, even if I don't finish it. But this particular book, I've made it as a mixed media and a place to put color book images. Along with the other one that I'm putting color book images in is the napkin journal. So those two are the ones I'm kind of concentrating on, that if I cut something out of a color book, it will go in one of those two journals. Although this one I'm trying to keep it fairies and my big monster girls in this book. So anything else color book wise will probably go in this book. So you can just kind of see this page is done. That's a steampunk couple out of the steampunk Creative Haven Steampunk. And again, there's a little bit of collage here, here, and here. So what I did here is I made a time machine. And then put our steampunk couple. And again, once you glue your images in, you'll see how I've painted over? See how I painted over the parts of it? Don't be afraid to paint on top of your color book pages. I mean, blend them in and color them in or whatever you want to do. So I love this page. It's one of my favorite pages, I got to say. Let me take a sip of coffee here, guys. So I really like this page. I painted in all the clouds and the stars and the planets and all that. All the clouds up there, it's all paint. So you can practice all this. Okay. Not done, not done. But look how pretty that is. Even if it's not done, look. It makes me happy just to look at it. This is also one of my favorite pages. Not done, but I love the way it looks without doing anything else to it. Maybe it's the colors. I'm not sure what it is. I love this page, and it's not finished, but I love it like that. Okay. Oh, we did this one. We did this one on stream, and it's I think it is the only page in here that I have anything dimensional. I don't, dimensional pages usually have its own book, but because of the stuff that Colleen sent, I went ahead and used the stuff that she sent and made this into a dimensional page, see? So we got all kinds of dimensional things, including stickles and some flowers and things like that. So we went ahead and did a dimensional page, which is something I usually don't do. Not that I don't like dimensional pages. I did scrapbooking for years. I need to show y'all some of my scrapbooks. I haven't shown those in years. I have had requests, people wanting to see my scrapbooking page, my scrapbook pages. That probably needs to be its own little flip. Because I know not everybody likes everything. You know, I try to keep it separate. I try to keep it all like grouped by theme. Anyway, so I love dimensional things on a page. It usually ends up in a scrapbook. In an art journal, the problem with doing dimensional things for me in an art journal is when you go to do the next page, or it has extra lumpiness. It has extra bumpiness. That's the only thing. Um, is Dede, is your go-to hair colors for? Oh, when I do redheads, no, it's a pattern. No, not necessarily. I love drawing ladies. I love drawing old men and young girls. Yeah, those are my two favorite things. If I had to draw, and animals. I love drawing animals, but I love drawing young girls. And it just so happened, I kind of coordinate by color on the page more than anything. And I love drawing old men. It's just my favorite things. So, anyway. Well, anyway, so what I was saying about the lumpy bumpiness of a page. In my scrapbooking, I don't mind that because they're all in sleeves. You know, when you do a dimensional page, scrapbook page, and you put it in a sleeve, in a page protector, you don't have to worry about anything falling off or anything. So that's one of the things. You like those flowers. They're going to be, uh, so when I do dimensional stuff, it's usually on something I can put in a sleeve. I do have books for that too. I have mixed media journal pages that can not necessarily be a scrapbook, but they go in sleeves. But I did this one because Colleen sent me the stuff. Johnny Day off on next year. I can't promise when I'll do something. I have to say, guys, I'm trying to work through on Mondays doing that deer page, during the Bennett Klein deer page. I'm working at a couple of segments at a time, and I'll do that on Mondays. But then, I like to do a lot of things in between my commissions. Because I do so much pencil work in commissions, I like to do different things as well, on my stream days. Because I do color pencil for a living right now, anyway. I do eventually want to get back to doing more of my fantasy animal posters and putting them on Society 6 on posters. I haven't had time. I've been saying I want to do that for a year. I have not had time. Now I feel like I should do all new ones, So anyway, okay. So not done. These are not done, not done. But I'm just going to continue to do a flip. This is pretty much done. Another steampunk girl. We put peacock feathers on her, cut out of a calendar or something. It could have a little bit more blendy and a little bit more work done to it, but it makes me happy just like it is. These are for me, guys. These art journals are for me. And showing you guys techniques too. But I mean, primarily, they're not going anywhere. I'm doing them for us just to learn things and practice and play. These are not for sale. These will never be for sale. I'm not selling these. I'm not making prints of these or anything like that. The things that I would sell would be like my animal posters where it's all, more I've painted them. I've painted them. I'm not going to sell color book pages. You know what I mean, Vern? Um, I know, Vicky. Yeah, make time. Right, Janet. Oh, so this was a stencil, and the stencil was made with my cameo silhouette. I made the stencil myself. It's just on cardstock, cut out the birds on my cameo. Again, not done. So you can just see different stages. These are all different stages. This one's done, and I like this one too. The only bits of color book on this one are the little fish. This is a collage flower, and then I put the fish on there, and there was a bit of a stencil something left from an initial smack down of a stencil or something, painted stencil, smack down the excess. And so I just went ahead and filled it in to make it look like a fish tank. You know, it just kind of reminds me of like something in a fish tank, those little castles in a fish tank. And then put paint and paint and paint and paint and paint. But the little fish are individually cut out to use dilutions. This one has some dilutions as an initial. I think I did a smack and drag in this book. And it does have like that's orange is probably dilutions. It's hard to tell because I've painted over so many layers, but this one does have dilutions. And again, that's another thing because this has so many different mediums in it that I don't even remember what they are. That I won't varnish these pages because the varnish, although dilutions paint seems to, I mean the dilution sprays, as opposed to like here's the paints. These would be permanent, but the sprays, you know, I'm not sure where they are anymore in this book because I've just worked all over. So I probably won't varnish this. Okay. And see, some of this is like leftover stencil. Like I might have used a stencil for something and then smacked the stencil down. You know, I don't even remember. This obviously is the stencil. That's from there's 4 different quarter stencils. I think it's Crafter's Workshop. Somebody can correct me. But it's those windows. So again, this one's done. This one we did on a stream. And she's one of the flower fashion girls. Colored her, cut her out. And then, you know, we painted all the kelp. She's like underwater kind of. And here's like a portal right here. So you can kind of see that. Do you guys all participate in Happy Mail? Um, I think different people get, you know, it's not like a group thing, Tammy. It's not like a group Happy Mail except for birthday cards. Like the girls will send me cards, like Sherry, that big box of cards. That will go out to anybody in the group who's on the birthday list. I'll send those out for birthday cards. So in that sense, but other than that, I don't know that anybody really does any kind. Sherry did a secret sister swap here a couple months ago. That's already over. But every now and then somebody will do something to do a swap of some kind. Like I sent out napkins. Some girls have done the napkin swaps, but it's not like a set thing. It's not like a set thing, Tammy. Artist seller, artist seller. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, those stained glass windows, artist seller. So yeah, so these are just different. This was just some steampunk play that we did one day. So you can see just different bits of flowers, paint, sprays. This one's done. We did this on a stream. The world of the peacock there. Painted all the planets and the stars and the worlds. So yeah. There's a the kimono. There's a kimono color book with all different kinds of kimonos. So that's cut out of that. And these are not done. These are just the pages. So that's it. So this book is ongoing. And again, this is the one that I use for color book pages. So you can see that even though they're different books in different stages, they do have kind of a designated purpose. One has more simple collage mixed media. The second one had more complex collages, and it's the newer one that I started at the beginning of this year. This one's an ongoing one that I use mixed media with color book pages. And then this one is one that we're doing with the napkin journal. Now, let me just say a couple while I'm talking about journals. And before I work in this, guys, I'm going to start a new. Okay, I froze for a second. I'm going to start another segment where we do the project, but I'll show you a couple other journals that I work in. Okay, and then come back to Mama. I froze for a second. If you're watching this, it froze for a second on me with the mail. It'll unstick in just a second. So I'm kind of turning this one into a kind of a flip. Come on, Mail. Sink in, Mail. There we go. Okay, so other than those journals that I just showed you, those three, this napkin journal, I also have my big giant sketchbook here. This is where I'll do drawings. You know, like I showed you this morning. Let me show you where I was working. Drawing some frogs because I'm just playing around with different little techniques and ideas for because I'm going to do the Inktober in October and I'm going to do reptiles. So I've been playing in that, but this is all kinds of things. This is just my giant sketchbook. This is the really big book, okay? So I work in that. Whoops, sorry guys, I bumped the camera. My bad. I also work in the freestyle really big notebook. And again, this is just a little bit of all kinds of stuff, mostly ink. The other one I'll do pencil. This one I'll do a lot more in ink, cutouts and things like we just last week I played with, we did some little doodles of some octopus. But I mean, this is mostly ink and notes and whatnot. So I work in that. And I also did put my Inktober. I did put my Inktober from last year in here in the middle because I kept losing where I put them. So I have all my Inktobers from last year, and they're this way. I have all my Inktobers from last year, which was sea creatures or undersea or anything to do with sea, including Patrick and SpongeBob. So this is all from last year's Inktober. Let's do a quick flip. And what Inktober is, it's doing an ink drawing every day for 31 days in October. And Mr. Jake Parker is the one that started it. So you can see this is all the ones that I did last year, and I keep them in this book. I just have them taped in because I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them, so I just stuck them in here. And so yeah, this year I'm going to do reptiles. All right, so there's that. I work in that book. I'm just kind of showing you in all the different kinds of books that I work in all the time. Then, and I'll show you the napkin journal on the next segment. But real quick, I'll show you what I do. My portrait, and I know a lot of y'all have seen these already. I'm just going to do a little bit of a quick flip. Like I showed you, here's Prince that I did for Denise. I'm getting it framed for her birthday. But anyway, so there's that. But I'll do, I do all kinds of practice. There's a group called Sketchy, and what it is people upload pictures of themselves for you to draw, okay? And you can post them or whatever. And so people post their own portraits, and then you're allowed to draw them. I posted a couple of mine. Some people have drawn. I've only posted a couple because I'm not really there to post pictures for people to draw me. I want to draw other people. I've drawn quite a few of those. Plus, I've drawn, I'll just show you real quick some of the ones that I've drawn here. And plus YouTubers. So I'm also drawing once a month. I'm trying to draw YouTubers. Now, I won't show you everything, but I'll show you a few. So like last month, June was Angie. Angie Bell was last month. So this is her. And this is a Sketchy. That's from a Sketchy. So they're just different drawings of people. And so I'm just going to flip through them real quick, guys, real quick. Here's the one from Amelia. We did a class on her. There's Barb's son. Is Barb here? And then this is a friend of mine's daughter. And then I have some of the littler ones, too. These are the 9x12, and then I have little ones, too. So let me just kind of flip through some of those. Some of the drawings that I've done here. Here's our Packer die. There's a little dog here. There's Jay. That's Urion. He's a tattoo guy. So there's some of the little ones. I want to kind of keep them in. I have them in little folders like this, so I can keep track of them. Although I don't want to get Prince mixed up because I got to take him and get him framed. That's for Denise's birthday. Then I've done a couple of, well, I'll flip through my Gold Rush drawings real quick, and then we'll start a new segment. So, let's see. And if you don't watch the Gold Rush show, you're probably not going to know who these people are. But, oh, here's a couple of Denise and Annie. So here's one of Denise. Here's two of my other daughter, Annie. This is two of her. So I'm going to flip through the Gold Rush real quick. And Todd asked me to draw him with Reagan, so there's that. But these are all the Gold Rush crew, producers. I'm going fast. There's Parker's dog, so as you can see, I do pet portraits. These are all the different crew members that I've done. From Gold Rush. Producer. There's Parker. And then this was the last one that I did. This was when Grandpa passed away. So this is Parker's grandpa who gave him, he's been mining since he was 3 on Grandpa's mine, and Grandpa passed away this just a few months ago. So, and it's splashed out a little bit, guys, but there you go. So again, you know, I love doing memorial drawings too. And then finally, let's see, what else do I have in here? I got a couple other things. I have a few, oh, here's a few more small ones. Some of the small ones that I've done. I've been a fan of the show for a long time, and of Gold Rush, and so I follow most of the crew. Most of the crew follows me. I follow their Facebook pages, and some of the drawings I've done. There's been more drawings that I've done that I've sold to the family members. So these are still the ones I have. So I really like her because I captured her holding her selfie stick in her eyes. So I really like that one. So just so you can kind of see some of the ones. So those are some of the smaller ones. And then a few fan art pages of famous people like Charlton Heston, Sean Connery. I even did Scott Wolter. And he liked it. We follow each other on Twitter too, and he really liked that. I need to do Hutton one of these days. Here's my Spock memorial. I did this one. Leonard Nimoy passed away. I did that one. Here's Doc from Back to the Future. Lawrence of Arabia. His name just slipped my mind. I don't know why. Omar Sharif. Here is Nichelle Nichols. Y'all know her as Uhura on Star Trek. Robert Mitchum. I have a couple here of Yahya Han, the cosplayer. Here's Glenn. This is Glenn from Walking Dead. Daryl from Walking Dead. There's another sketchy guy. This is from Sketchy Group. Here's Will Terry from, my YouTube shout out that month. Here's Darcy UK. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, yeah. There's Darcy UK. Here's Miss Vicky B. Shannon Green, Mistel, Gazbot. These are all YouTubers, you know. Bailey J. And then these are just some more sketchy people. They're not YouTubers, at least that I know of. So yeah. So those are just the ones I have here. These are not the ones I've sold, obviously. And I did also do Cinnamon Cooney, the art Sherpa, and she did buy her picture. So that one is in possession of Cinnamon Cooney, the art Sherpa. So yeah. So let me so I can't show you hers, the original anyway. All right, so I am going to stop this recording and then we'll start another one and we'll do a project in the napkin journal. So hang loose, guys. I'll be right back.